This is a short video to show you how to locate and replace the thermostat on the cooling system of a 2001 Mitsubishi Eclipse with the 3.0 liter engine. The first thing you have to do is make sure the engine is completely cool, otherwise the water can boil out and severely burn you. One of the things you have to do to begin this project is to drain all the fluid out of the radiator, and this is done with a plastic screw located on the lower left corner of the radiator. I've done a disassembly of the engine to make it a quick and short video. Once you have drained all the fluid out, the first thing I did was to remove the top hose. I recommend that you replace both the top and bottom hose while replacing this thermostat. Normally on most cars, the top hose connection to the engine block is where the thermostat is located. However, on a Mitsubishi, it's actually located off the bottom hose that comes up and connects to the engine block connector right here. To have access to that area, first thing you have to do is remove this radiator clamp and remove the air filter cover. The air filter cover is held in place by 4 metal pop-off clips, 2 in front, 2 in back. Once you removed this radiator clamp and those clips, you can then take this part and set it aside, and hopefully it doesn't fall back into your work. You can then remove the air filter, and then you have to remove the air filter housing that directs the airflow down and up through the air filter and into the engine. This airflow plastic assembly has to be removed by prying up with a screwdriver on this clip here and this clip connection here. In addition to those two, there are 3 screws, 1, 2, and 1 in the back corner. These screws hold this assembly in place. Once that's removed, you can carefully remove this whole assembly to give you access to the engine compartment. I've also removed the bottom hose and drained out some of the fluid. You should have something to catch any remaining fluid from the radiator hose once you remove the bottom one. So, from the bottom radiator hose connection up to this engine block connection, which goes to the lower hose, there are 3 12mm bolts holding this connector in place. 1 here, 1 on the bottom, and 1 in back. Once you get that loose, you can wiggle and pry off that connector. Inside that connector, you'll find your thermostat. This is what it looks like. I've already replaced it and gone through all the trouble of this disassembly. So once you have that cover off, you'll have access to this thermostat. You have to pull this out, put a new one in, put the connector back on, and the 3 12mm bolts, tighten it down, and then you have replaced the thermostat. I recommend that you use something like Permatex to help with the seal when you tighten these bolts down to the engine block. Once you have that replaced, you can then replace the lower hose connection with radiator clamps and replace the top connection. Once you have that accomplished, you can then reinstall the airflow plastic assembly, the air filter cover, reconnect it to this rubber hose connection to the intake to the engine, and tighten down this clamp. Once you have all that in place, you have to refill the radiator with a fluid. If you have captured it and it's still good, which I have replaced this just a little while ago, you have then completed the installation of the thermostat. Good luck.